Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So for today's video, we have some, I feel like a Spice Girl meets the Matrix right now. I don't really know. My hair is just so freaking oily and that's why I feel very Matrix. I'm just like, I don't want to wash my hair. I'm not in the mood for it because I know the second that I wash it, I'm going to have to dry it or I'll just have to leave it to air dry and then I have to deal with being cold while it dries. And either way, it's just not a win. So I'm just kind of avoiding it for as long as I can. Basically, I didn't really have a plan when I sat down and filmed this. And a big shocker, I like literally every time I sit down and film, I never know what the hell is going to like come out from it. The only plan that I did have for today's video was that I wanted to use a full face of MAC products because I know MAC's one of those brands that I feel like everyone loves. I feel like they're really easy for you guys to get your hands on them because I know before I started doing YouTube, all I knew was like drugstore, like Priceline, L'Oreal, Maybelline, all that sort of stuff. And then there was MAC. I didn't know about Mecca, I didn't know about Sephora, I didn't know any of that existed. The only thing that I knew was that David Jones had makeup counters and one of them was MAC and MAC was the shit. Plus anytime someone asks me the question if I could only use one brand for the rest of my life, what would it be? I always say MAC because they have everything. If you guys have any suggestions at all for any MAC goodies that I should pick up, just leave them down below because I do read through all of my comments. I try and write back to all of you and I want some suggestions of what I should get. But if you guys want to see how I achieve this look to gay, oh my god, today, then stay tuned, keep watching. I'm gonna go and feed myself before I like die. So we're gonna start off with my base as usual. I'm going to use my MAC Fix Plus and just spritz this all over my face. I am so obsessed with Fix Plus. I don't really know like what it is. It's just like, it's basically like glorified water, but I'm here for it. I love it. It's like really good to like spray before you go in with your makeup because it gives you like a really nice hydrated base and it just feels really, really nice. Or if you've like just done like your entire base and it's looking like a little bit cakey or it feels really dry and powdery, you can spray it with Fix Plus and it just kind of meshes everything together and like revamps it. I like to douse my face in this like a shower. Now I'm going to go in with my MAC Essential Oils. I love going in with an oil before I do my foundation because I find even though I have like combo to oily kind of skin, it's very sensitive. So as you guys can see, it's a little bit red down here. I've got breakouts. Aunt Flo is in town and she's fucking shit up and she's being such a pain in my uterus right now. I'm so not just... I just feel like it gives it a really nice base before I go in with my foundation, especially if I'm using like a stick foundation or something like that. Honestly, I recommend trying it if you haven't already. So these are the grapefruit and chamomile ones. I think they're meant to be calming. I'm just gonna massage it into my hands and then we're going to pat it into the skin. So I don't actually own a MAC primer, but we did use like the Prep and Prime Fix Plus as well as like the essential oils. So that'll act as like a really nice base for our foundation. So I am going to just jump straight in with the MAC Studio Fix Foundation. I have the shade NC20. I used to wear NC30, but I think it's a little bit dark for me now. It's probably just a little bit too yellow. I think this one's probably a bit too yellow as well. The last time that I used it, it was like super like orange on my face that day. I don't know why. So I'm hoping, I feel like I'm like a nice sort of orangey yellow sort of tan shade at the moment, so I'm hoping it'll be a good match. So this foundation doesn't actually come with a pump. The pump that I have on it is one of the little Estee Lauder ones. It was sent to me in a recent PR package along with the Double Wear foundation, and I just thought I'd pop it on my Studio Fix because I didn't want to have one of my Estee Lauder foundations with a pump and the other one without a pump. I wanted them to look the same because that makes total sense, right? And I'm just going to use this MAC 170 brush. I think I've only ever used this once, but I figured it's an all MAC tutorial, so I'm going to use a MAC brush. It's definitely not my shade right now. I actually think it's too light for me. I think that's what it is. I probably do need NC30 now that I think about it. Oh my god, in my last video when I used this foundation, it looked just like super orange on me that day, like really yellow. And you guys know I'm yellow on the best of days. I was like, oh my god, who the hell is this color? Like, who the hell wears this color foundation? Just joking, because obviously I wear it. And someone was like, yeah, look, you said people have a skin tan. And I was like, dude, I fucking know. because I wear it. I seriously forgot how much I actually love Studio Fix. This used to be like my holy grail. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I would always go and get the samples because I just couldn't afford to buy it at the time. It's like $50 or something like that, which I'm like, I think that's fine now. But obviously if you don't have like the money to spend that on foundation, like I definitely didn't, I would just go in and get the samples and I would just keep going back and getting more samples. So if you guys can't afford it and you want to try it, just go to different MAC counters and get a whole shitload of samples. We're gonna move on to cream contour now. You guys know I love to cream contour. I can't go a day without doing it. I mean, obviously I can. But if I'm gonna do like full glam makeup, I feel like I need to do a cream contour just so I have like that nice base before I go in with the powder. So this is the Diane Kendall Spring/Summer 2017 little contour stick that MAC came out with. Basically, it has a little contour shade on one end, and then there is a little cream highlight shade on the other end. So obviously this is way too dark for me. I didn't buy this. It's actually given to me in a goodie bag when I went to a MAC event, and they were kind of just like randomized bags, but I've used it before and I've made it work. So I'm just gonna draw this under my cheekbones so you guys can see. It's so dark, it's way too dark. I'm hoping it'll help the foundation match my chest a bit better. Do my jaw as well, and then just the tip of my nose, just the tip. So I think I might just use that same foundation brush to blend this out with. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna pat this because I think the last time that I used it, I've only used it once before, just because it's not the best shade match. But I'm pretty sure when I did use it, it pulled off my foundation a little bit. So I'm just gonna pat this into the skin. So I'm not really blending this out fully. I'm just kind of blending it out like just kind of messily. And then I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender to make everything blend seamlessly. This is actually a Sigma sponge. This is a 3D HD blender. I really like it. I don't know if I like a beauty blender or this better. To be honest, I think my beauty blender is a little bit more durable because this has a bit of a rip in it. I think they're very soft, so these rip a lot easier. But I like the edges on this. It's good to do like contour or like bake your face, get under your eyes, that sort of thing. Especially going like around your brows, you can turn it and you get like more of a crisp line. I do have a discount code for you guys, so it's just Kasey Rayton, and that gets you 10% off any brushes or sponges or any makeup that you want to pick up from Sigma. You guys know that is an affiliate code, so I do make money if you purchase anything from the website using that code. But yeah, I'm not sure which one works out cheaper. I would just say go with the cheaper one. So if the beauty blender is cheaper, get that, and then if the Sigma one's cheaper, get that. So for concealer, I'm going to use the Pro Longwear concealer in the shade NC20. Obsessed with this concealer. I used it again for the first time just the other day, and I love it. It's a lot stickier than I remember, but it's such good coverage. Like the only thing that I hate is the little pump. I don't like having to pump out my concealer. I just want to swipe it on with like a little doe foot applicator. And I'm just going in with my F70 concealer brush from Sigma. I'm going to take it down the sides of my nose as well. So if you guys have noticed, I never contour my nose. I used to do it all the time, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have a bump on the side of my nose, and it's wider where the bump is, but then it goes skinnier here. So if I try and contour that, I have to do it. It's not fun. If you have a bit of a crooked nose, I just really wouldn't recommend trying to contour it unless you can like 100% like mask that you don't have like a little crookedness bumpy sort of thing going on, because otherwise you can just end up making it look 1,000 times worse. Even though I don't contour it anymore because it just makes the bump look worse, I do take my concealer down the sides of it, and I feel like that kind of just contours it for me without actually having to add any like dirt to it. And then whatever's left over on my sponge, I usually just kind of take like around my mouth, just like where I have shadowing. Look at those dark circles. Snatched. Gone bitch. So I have this little face powder that I want to try out. I'm scared because it is a white face powder, so I don't know if it'll give me a flashback or not, but this is the Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder, and it's just like a loose white powder. I'm just gonna take like the lightest amount and just like pat it into my skin, just because I'm worried this will give flashback. Ooh, that sets really nicely. That's super nice. It's like super nice. So I'm just kind of setting like the center areas of my face, just anywhere that tends to get a little bit oily. Now moving on to like under eye setting powders. I know this is a lot of powder, but I just have like favorite things from MAC and I can't decide which ones I want to use, so I'm just kind of using everything. But I did really want to show you these two. So first we have the MAC Emphasise Powder, which I've been obsessed with. It's really good for like brightening underneath your eyes. I got this because I saw Jaclyn Hill use it and I honestly love it. But as soon as I hit pan, I was like, oh my god, I need to stop using it because I didn't want to ever run out. And I also have the Light Mineralized Skin Finish, and I've hit pan on this like majorly, but this is really great for like brightening under your eyes as well. I will say that the Emphasise Powder is probably a little bit more brightening and it's a little bit more shimmery. So it's not really shimmery, it's just kind of like a pearlescent sort of finish. So like you could even use this on the high points of your face to really make your highlighter like stand out like 10 times more. I wouldn't use this to set because your eyes still will crease. I mostly just use this like on top of powders like I am today, and I'm just gonna go in with that same F35 brush. I'm sorry if you can hear that truck. And I'm gonna drag this out kind of on like the high points of my cheekbones as well. I definitely wouldn't use too much of this because it can start to look kind of like it can make your skin look very cakey very quick. And not cakey is in the sense like it's heavy. It's a super light powder and it's really, really nice, but it starts to look unnatural on your skin because it does have like a pearl kind of finish to it. So now that my face is all set, we're gonna move straight along to bronzer, which you guys know is my favorite part. I think if I had to pick, oh my god, I didn't know what the hell that was then. I thought like my bronzer had cracked in my hands and it was crumbling all over it, but I just had like a little elastic, like one of those little clear elastics on my hand tickling it. I really like bronzer. I'm obsessed. I always have been. When I was in school, I literally used to put bronzer over my entire face. No word of a lie, I had an orange face and I thought it was fantastic. This is the Give Me Sun bronzer in the Mineralized Skin Finish from MAC. I really, really love this. I only got this just the other day. They actually sent it over to me. So huge thank you to Hannah from MAC because I seriously appreciate that so much. This is something that I had my eye on for so freaking long, but I kept talking myself out of getting it. So I'm gonna go in with my Small Contour F05. I'm going to start patting this kind of on top of where we contoured earlier and just bringing it up onto the cheekbones as well. I always pat my powders into my face. I don't swipe them unless I forget. And when I do swipe them, it accidentally like pulls off my foundation. So that's why I always pat them. I just love it. Look how beautiful it is. Like that's nothing. And that's like, bam, sunny. I've been at the beach all day. I always take a little bit of bronzer onto my nose as well, because I feel like it makes it look more like you've actually been in the sun. So for my highlight today, I have one of my absolute favorites from MAC, which is Double Gleam Extra Dimension Skin Finish. I am freaking obsessed with this. It is so freaking beautiful. Honestly stunning. Like I bought this when I was at IMATS last year and it's just literally one of the most, one of the most beautiful highlights of my entire life. It's probably like my favorite. It's really similar to the Tarte Exposed highlight that I am like so obsessed with, but this one's just a little bit more glittery. And then I have one that I was sent the other day, which I'm so excited to try out. This is from their new holiday collection that they've come out with. Look at this packaging. It's really gorgeous. Like it's really golden and glowy. I think I'm gonna put this one on first and then I'm gonna go in with Double Gleam and just put poop. Oh my god, I said poop. I was trying to say pop and put, and I said poop. Dipping into that on my high cheekbone highlighter F03 brush. This is one of my favorite brushes for highlighting from Sigma. I'm just gonna get a decent amount and then just buff that onto my cheekbones. I feel like that went in my eye. It's like stinging. This happened to me the other day as well. I didn't like realize that the powder's flicking up in there and then so it's burning. It's like not too much glow. Like it's enough that you could build it up to be really beautiful, but it's like a really like that oh my Jesus. So freaking beautiful. I love it. I feel like I don't even need to put Double Gleam on my face, but I'm going to put a little bit on just to show you guys because it really does make it pop. Like that's insane. Double Gleam is fucked. It's fucking asshole. Okay, I don't know where my blush brush is, but I'm just gonna go in with that same Small Contour F05 that I used to bronze my skin. And I take MAC Warm Soul. It's my favorite blush. I also love Peaches, which is right here. So this is what Peaches looks like. And then I've got Warm Soul. So like Peaches is one of my absolute favorites, but this is when I want like a really like pretty pink kind of look, and Warm Souls for when I still want to keep my skin really nice and bronzy but just have a little bit of a flush to the skin, and just like pat it over top of the highlight and the bronzer and just kind of mesh them into one. So nobody wants to look like Neapolitan ice cream. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but I feel like it just makes the apple of my cheek look a little bit more full and just like brings a little bit of life back to my face. And I always take a little bit of blush on my nose, just in the center of my forehead and then on my chin, just because I like to add a little bit of color back into my skin. I feel like it looks more natural, even though I'm like caked to the shit house. I don't know, I feel like it adds a little bit of something in there. So that's my base all done, but I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the Fix Plus spray and just spritz it over my skin, because Studio Fix is a very like matte dry foundation. Like it's not like the mattest foundation ever, but it does dry down and set on your skin, and I'm feeling very dry around my chin and my mouth. So I'm just going to drown my face in this. So now moving on to the eyes, we're going to try out this basic bitch palette from MAC, which if there was ever an eyeshadow palette to describe me, this would be it. The colors not so much, but like just the naming of the palette is definitely Kasey Rayton from YouTube. I was sent this a couple of months ago now, and I just haven't really gotten around to using it. I've swatched it a few times and I've like planned to use it in like first impression trying new products sort of videos, but just the colors, I don't love them. Like they're just not my colors at all. They're very cool toned, very taupey and silver, and I just like I just don't like that shit. It's just not my shit. There isn't really a lot of shades in here you can use to create like your full eye look, which is kind of what like just, I don't know, makes me confused about the palette. They're all kind of like, they all kind of have a sheen to them. They either have a sheen, like a pearl kind of sheen to them, or they're glittery. So yeah, I'm not sure what kind of look I'm going to do. Because I don't have any other eyeshadows from MAC that I can use to do my eyes, I'm actually going to take the Give Me Sun bronzer, and I'm just going to start running this through my crease and just on the outer corners of my eyes, just so we can get a little bit of depth and have a transition color sort of in there. So I'm just going to keep going in and building that up until I get like a nice amount of warmth in the crease. And then I'm going to go in with my Short Shader E20 brush from Sigma and just pick up a decent amount of that bronzer on the brush. And I'm going to start packing this onto the lower lash line and making sure it connects in the outer corner with the lid. And then I'm just going to go back in with that E35 brush and just like gently smoke that out and really focus on blending it in the outer corner, just so everything's connected and nice and seamless. So now that I've got a little bit of a base down, I'm just going to dip into the purple shade from that basic Bish palette on my Firm Shader E57 brush from Sigma. And I'm going to start packing this onto the outer corner of my eye. Well, this is kind of like a pearl sort of shade as well, but it might be matte, I don't know. Maybe my eyes are broken. And then I'm just going to go back in with that E35 brush and just lightly blend the edges. So once I've blended that out, I'm just going to dip back into the same shade on my Short Shader E20 brush. And I'm just going to start packing this just in the outer corner of the lower lash line and just connecting it in the outer corner there, just so everything is like really seamless. And I'm then just taking my Diffused Crease E38 brush from Sigma. I'm going to dip back into a little bit of the Give Me Sun bronzer, and then I'm just going to start blending out that purple shade. I think that's all I'm going to do for like the base sort of eyeshadows, just because there aren't really any other shades in the palette that I want to use for this look. They're all very blue and silvery, and it's just not really shades that I like to use. So I've just pumped out a little bit of concealer, and I'm just taking that same concealer F70 brush from Sigma. We're going to do a little bit of a cut crease, but like nothing too crazy today. Then once I've done the concealer on the lids, I'm just going to jump in with this shade from the palette, just the really light sort of shimmery pink. It's kind of like a pearl, it's not really shimmery. And I've just dusted off that concealer brush that we just used, and I'm going to use this to set the lids and just as like our lid shade as well. So I was just going to leave the eyes like that, but then I realized that I have this extra dimension eyeshadow in the shade Stylishly Merry, and it's like one of their new is it the Snowball collection? Their holiday collection this year. It's really, really cute, and it's just like a really pretty, it's kind of like an iridescent peach, pink, green. I can't even describe it to you guys, but it's really pretty. And I thought I might put a little bit of this just over top of where we cut that crease, just to add a little bit of something. This would be like so gorgeous with like an eyeshadow base as well, like a primer or like a glitter glue or something. I feel like it would like really stack on there nicely. But yeah, that's basically it for the eyes. I am going to put some mascara on now. I just have this Haute and Naughty Lash from MAC, and it's one of the ones that has a little brush in the top, and then you unscrew this bit. You have another brush. So if you want it to be thicker, you use the purple one, and if you want it to be a little bit thinner, you use the pink one. So I'm probably going to use the purple side today because I like to have really thick bottom lashes. I'm not putting this on my top lashes because I do have lash extensions and I just don't need to do it. Plus it just completely fucks up your lash extensions if you do that. So this is their Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color in the shade Cafe or Chic, I think. Yeah, I think that's going to be like a pretty good match for today's look. Ooh, I really like that shade. It's like still so taupey, but like it has a warm sort of element to it. I'm really feeling that. This lipstick's like really, really easy to spread as well. Like that went such a long way, and that was just one swipe. It is very drying though. I feel like this is the kind of lip color that could crumble off, but it's dried down so well it's not even transferring like at all. I did kind of fuck up a little bit and I accidentally bumped myself and went outside of my lip line, so I've had to overdraw them quite a bit. But because it does feel really matte on my lips, I'm going to go in with this Shimmer and Spice lipstick. This is from their Snowball holiday collection as well. I hope it's called Snowball. I hope I'm like not saying the wrong thing. But yeah, this is from their holiday collection too. It's like really gorgeous and glittery. So I'm just going to apply this to like the centers of my lips. So it's not as glittery as I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure if it mixed with the lipstick that's already on my lips, but that's what it looks like when you swatch it. It does look a little bit different on my lips. I think it just kind of like the lipstick kind of picked up the liquid lipstick from underneath, but I actually kind of like it mixed together. It's kind of created like a really cool metallic grungy like 90s sort of vibe. Like I really, really like this look. So that's basically it for this video, you guys. This is the final look. I really hope that you like how it came out. I'm very happy with it. I think it's really 90s, especially with like little pom-pom ears. I think I made it so 90s without even realizing until the end. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my Snapchat and my Instagram, which is just Kasey Rayton, the same as my YouTube. And my snaps are actually open to the public, so if you guys ever want to message me or ask me anything, you can hit me up on Snapchat. Also, if you guys like these videos testing out one certain brand of makeup, definitely let me know and leave any suggestions below for other brands that you'd like me to test out. But yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Oh, my uterus. Ow. Spray, you motherfucker. That Give Me Sand shade. Give me sand? What? Give me sun. What the fuck am I saying? Why can't I spray from this angle? Ow. Make sure I don't poke myself in the freaking eye with these stupid nails. But I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna try it out. So I swear that's in my tea. You can see it in my tea. So mostly just blending this. Oh. Can't taste it in there though. Brand for the rest. Why am I fucking stuttering? Why do I suck bumhole? Oh my god, there's a contact lens stuck on here. Yuck, get off. Literally just getting messages. Oh my god, I'm so popular. I actually have hardly any left of this oil. What the fuck happened to my voice? Bitch. You dumbass bitch. My favorite brushes. And oh my god, I haven't even done my concealer.